This video is sponsored by Nvidio AI. As of September 2024, Prince Harry and Meghan Markle have had 2 holidays masquerading as royal tours. The first to Nigeria in May, and the second to Colombia in August, and have announced that they are planning to make a third before the year is up. But for 2 people who back in 2021 told Oprah that they felt trapped in the mire of royal duties and have desperately sought privacy and just time to
take a breath.
Why exactly then are they play pretending as the royals now? I mean, what the hell even is this? After Harry and Meghan courageously escaped from the palace back in 2020 on their freedom flight, a common point people have raised when trying to understand why Meghan Markle wanted to leave is that royalty is not the same as celebrity. In the interview with Oprah, Meghan talked about how she went into the institution so naively, not knowing what to expect. But I don't think it was naivety about the press interest or the pressures of royal life. I believe she got a shock when she saw that she would not be living in large palaces and getting endless praise and freebies while kicking her feet up and living the good life. Instead, Meghan moved into Harry's home, Nottingham Cottage, and it's clear that Meghan was not happy about this, something she and Harry made extremely obvious during the Netflix documentary.
As far as people were concerned, we were living at a palace, and we were in a cottage.
We were living on palace grounds. Kensington Palace sounds very regal. Of course it does. It says palace in the name. But Nottingham Cottage, it was so small.
Well, Oprah came over for tea, didn't she?
She did.
And when she came in, she sat down, she goes, "No one would ever believe it."
No one would ever believe it.
Meghan, who has been insisting on being spoiled long before she met Harry and long before she got her role on Suits, must have had quite the rude awakening, walking into the modest cottage that Prince Harry had been living in for a few years already. No doubt, she would have compared it to Prince William and Catherine's home, who in 2017 were living in Kensington Palace. But Kensington Palace was not William and Catherine's first home. From 2010 to 2013, the now Prince and Princess of Wales lived in Bordigan Hall, in this spot, a modest farmhouse in Anglesey, while Prince William worked as a search and rescue pilot for the Royal Air Force. During those years, Catherine was often seen by locals shopping in neighborhood markets and just living a simple life. Knowing that Meghan was coming from the world of celebrity gossip, paparazzi walks, and red carpet events, I'm sure the late Queen wanted to make sure that Meghan got the true taste of royal life, which meant simpler living, especially when first starting out in the family. Even then, soon after Harry and Meghan's marriage, the Queen gifted them Frogmore Cottage, a far more capacious home, as well as £2.4 million in taxpayer funds to renovate. But these weren't sufficient in the types of perks that Meghan needed from royal life. Used to receiving free clothes and gifts thanks to her role on Suits and her lifestyle website, The Tig, Meghan refused to accept that the royals did not take presents from companies. It is important that the royals maintain their status of being above monetary persuasion. Meghan, on the other hand, not only accepted freebies, as Harry shared in Spare, but also had major clashes with her assistant, Melissa Tubati, who held steadfastly to the household rule that members of the royal family cannot accept freebies from commercial organizations. Meghan was further frustrated by royal life when she discovered that the spotlight, which she once reveled in, needed to be shared with the rest of the family, with members hopping in and out and never seeking to compete with each other. Instead, they needed to work together to accomplish the overarching goal for the institution, the service of their countrymen. This didn't really sit well with Meghan, which is why she constantly flouted protocol, refused to play ball, or even respect the hierarchy, stressing out the royal aides when she would break the rules, like rushing ahead of Her Majesty the Queen on their first and only joint engagement. Meghan wants and needs attention, so in a family that works together, she made it a point to constantly stand apart, and then complained that she was forced to stand apart. The simplest example of this relates to the color of their clothing, since the royals always wear bright colors to make it easier for people to see them in large crowds. Knowing this, Meghan always opted for the opposite. Meghan claims that she did this to avoid being a nuisance, but if that was the case, why does she continue to wear those colors years after leaving the family? Maybe she likes those colors? Meghan doesn't like to be told what to do, and of course, a family that's built on a hierarchy, traditions, and protocol would be beyond intolerable to her. But after she left, she was sure to claim that she was just never told any of the rules, which is why she was forced to break them.
There's no class on how to speak, how to cross your legs, how to be royal. There's none of that training. That might exist for other members of the family. That was not something that was offered to me.
So nobody tells you anything?
No.
Nobody prepares you?
No, but even down to like the national anthem. No one thought to say, Oh, you're American. You're not going to know that.
This is all false, by the way, since many people tried to help Meghan during her time in the family, and she rebuffed them all. By the way, I often see comments about why I can't just leave Meghan Markle well enough alone, since she's apparently living a life of peace and privacy. She's not. I would be more than happy to leave her alone if Meghan wasn't consistently working on various ways to undermine the royal family and destroy their reputations with repeated lies. I'm a royalist. I appreciate the dignified way they carry themselves. I respect their philanthropic work and the focus on duty and serving their people. I think they are great role models for all of us. So I will continue to expose Meghan for who she really is. I know a lot of you feel the same way and may be thinking about creating content on this or any other subject yourselves, but don't know how to get started. Consider checking out InVideo AI. InVideo AI is the world's most used AI video creator with over 10 million users across 150 plus countries. It's the only AI video creator that I have tried that puts you in the driver's seat and works as your personal sidekick to help you with the crucial tasks of scripting, editing, and finding relevant footage so you can bring your ideas to life using text prompts. All you have to do is start with a simple prompt and it creates the first rough draft for you. From there, you can get creative and fine-tune your video, like asking the tool to change the intro. Wanted to find better footage for a scene? Done. You can also clone your voice and make it narrate the video in your voice in any language. Harry and Meghan's Colombian tour turned out to be a mess. Critics slammed them for acting like royals while dodging royal duties. And the cost? A whopping $1.5 million just for security. The best part, it will save you hundreds of dollars every month as it does the job of more than 10 tools packed into one and costs $20 a month to start. I know many people see AI as a threat, feeling that humans are getting replaced, but I see tools like InVideo AI as a way to level up your skills because it allows you to bring to life projects that would seem out of reach before. So try InVideo AI for free, but if you are serious about video creation, you should get a paid plan that starts at $20 a month. This will remove the watermark and give you the ability to clone your voice. A paid account also gives you access to millions of royalty-free stock footage clips, as well as better options for voiceovers, which again typically cost hundreds of dollars. So go to invideo.io/i/thebagageclaim and use my code thebagageclaim50 to get twice the number of video generation credits in your first month. And I'm excited to see what you will all create. Thank you for listening, and I'll see you next time. Okay, back to Meghan's frustrations with the royal family, which brings me to the duty aspect of royal life. After all, being a working member of the family means you can't just be sitting around all day. Your job is to serve the people by meeting with them, raising awareness for various social issues, and bringing attention to organizations and citizens who are doing important work in their communities. This is all done through long-term planning of diaries and coordination with members of the family, staff, the press, and the organizations well ahead of time, so the entire system can function seamlessly. It's this machine that has brought massive attention to the necessity of environmentalism through the work of the then Prince Charles, the plight of homeless people thanks to Prince William, resources for women suffering from domestic abuse because of Queen Camilla, the importance of the early childhood years thanks to Catherine, Princess of Wales, and just so much more. In order to accomplish all this, the members of the royal family have to all treat these engagements with the highest amount of professionalism. None of them can, let's say, run late, or say anything controversial, or opt out last minute, or wear inappropriate clothing, since all these things serve to make the engagements about them, rather than the causes they're here to spotlight. And after all, this is the work, since the spotlight on them is not for them as individuals, but rather for the roles they need to play and the values they need to uphold. It's a social contract where the positive spotlight will only exist as long as they continue to do their duty to their people. Otherwise, there's no point to them at all. No point to them at all, however, is more of an appropriate assessment of celebrities who have these massive spotlights because they can pretend to be other people and use a vast team of publicists, stylists, hairdressers, makeup artists, social media managers, and more to control their public image and mold it as they desire. And that is exactly what Meghan was expecting from her time at the royal family, that her staff were not valued members who were part of a greater machine aiding the royals and serving the people, but were tools at her disposal, meant to do her bidding when she desired. The royal protocols were not rules she would need to abide abide by to ensure proper cohesion of the family, but rather break at her discretion to get attention. Royal engagements weren't sacred contracts that she needed to uphold, but rather a nuisance that she resented doing without being paid. Since Prince Harry had been wrangled into puppy dog status from day one, it was easy to convince him how hard this life was on her, and thus plot out their escape. Fast forward to 2024, and the fake royal tours have begun. But this time, not with rules designed to ensure the service of the people, but instead rules to serve Meghan Markle. These rules include wearing extremely inappropriate clothing, like this nearly backless dress to a school, or low-cut dresses with high slits, and all the recognition of a British royal title without any of the work. Lots of opportunities to give endless speeches about nothing.
So I think part of the role modeling that I certainly try to do as a mother is to encourage our daughter, who at 3, she has found her voice.
What the hell does that even mean? All Meghan cares about is the perception. And with these tours, she's able to cultivate an image that is nowhere near the truth. Using you scratch my back, I scratch yours negotiation tactics with governments looking to up their international profile, several paid supporters and press reporters that have been pinky sweared into writing nothing but overly glowing profiles for the tours. Meghan is able to forcefully make this all happen. With this setup, there's no one to tell her she's dressed inappropriately, no one to tell her that she really shouldn't be late to an event, and no one to deny her a microphone. That is, without getting fired, of course. So Meghan Markle finally has it all. The title, the manufactured adulation, the press headlines, the freebies, and the accolades. But there's a wrench in the plan. The once obedient Prince Harry is starting to show his defiance. Look, it's simple. Meghan Markle loves Prince Harry with all of her heart. That is under one condition, that he do and say exactly what she wants him to. Which usually means stand there dutifully holding her hand, recreating totally authentic moments of love originally from William and Catherine engagements, and this one is really important, shutting the hell up. But Prince Harry seems to be revolting against that last dictum, however, and Meghan can hardly hide her intense disdain every time he speaks. So while everything else might be lining up for old Meghan Markle, her undoing is the prince who gave her this position and influence in the first place. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you next time.